All right guys, part two to our install of the factory puck system in the 22 Super Duty. So again, I got this set off of Amazon. The last set I think was the same brand, but for the larger holes, super cheap, like 19 bucks. If you even get one use out of each hole saw, you're a win. But as long as you don't push it too hard or burn them or drop them and bend the teeth, they'll probably last for a while. So I mean, it's a pretty good gig. I mean, back in the day, I remember when those were so expensive a piece. Now my kit came with all the electrical but did not come with the wiring harness instructions. So mainly we're going to need it for the template. So I'll put a link at the bottom of this video and where you're going to get this template and where to exactly put it. You could guess, that'll be fine, but I don't like guessing. Truck's too expensive. So as long as you print this out, you're going to confirm that that right line there where it says 7 inches is actually 7 inches, so that make sure your printer doesn't downscale this, and then also that 4 inches is 4 inches. But I'm going to get everything set up and then we're going to come back to this video. Okay guys, so we cut off this side line, the dotted line, so that's gone. You can see right here where it says bed floor seam. That's where the bottom of the paper is going to be, and we cut it off at that dotted line. I left the rest of the piece of paper so we had room to tape. And then you can kind of see right here where it says tailgate corner seam. That's right there, so we're right where we need to be. Now you can either use a manual punch or a spring-loaded punch. I invested in one of these years ago, man, for starting holes, and it's been a blessing. I think it's Harbor Freight, $6, so it's probably even cheaper now. But basically what it does is it's going to create a pilot dimple for us. So what this does, instead of having to take a hammer, you just push down and it puts a dimple in there for you. You need to mark these holes also, right there in the corner of the little cross. And let me do the rest of these because that sound is obnoxious. All right, now that we got those dimples cut, we no longer even need this template, so we can lift this. And if we look real closely, we can see our dimples here for our, alright, other than being dirty and a whole lot of shiny metal here, the dimples right there and right there and right there, so now we have our pile of holes. Don't throw this away yet because you need this, unless you want to go back and read the instructions, to know that the holes need to be 11/32. We're going to drill the 4 of those, and then we have a 2 1/8 hole saw. So we're going to get that set up and get those holes drilled. All right guys, so I wanted to forewarn you, you're going to have to use an interesting way of pushing and kind of going through this nice slope. If you just want to shove this all the way through, your hole saw will go all the way to the outside of your bed, and you'll put a nice dimple in it. I didn't do that, but I wanted to warn you because just these are the only holes you have to cut. This is really, other than taking the bed up, this is the only part where you got to really be careful. Going down through here, you got to worry about stuff that might be underneath it, and in here you got to be just real careful to make sure you don't go through and hit the bed with your drill and put a dimple on the outside. So I'm going to finish drilling up the last 4 holes, and then we're not going to install the wiring yet. That's going to be kind of like the last touch, because if we hook it up now, we're going to have to unplug it later anyway to lift the bed. So we're going to leave all of these little finishing touches for a different video, but we'll see you soon.